Hi, I'm Martha Driggers. I lived on this river, the Ocklawaha River, for 47 years of my life. And I want to tell you just a little bit about the history from the 50s and 60s that I know about the river. This is State Road 40, and we're east of Silver Springs, the attraction. And this would have been Ray Wayside Park. Over here in this tiny part here is the bridge that we used to cross over when we were younger, and there was a bridge tender there. Her name was Mrs. Cheatham, and when a big craft would come through, she would have to get out there and crank up the bridge, and it would turn to the center of the river and then let the craft through, and then she'd have to crank it back and let the traffic go through. So I remember many a times being stopped waiting for that craft to go through. Over here was called Joe Borden's, and he had one glass bottom boat that he ran up and down the river. And when the barge canal came through, they took his waterfront, so he lost his business. But at that point there was an old glass bottom boat that was half sunk in the water. And in the late 70s, early 80s, my dad, Francis Gay, and my brother-in-law, Martin Tittle, went and got that boat. They wanted that boat. They wanted to save it. So my dad took his John Deere tractor, and they did it Egyptian style with big old logs, and they rolled that boat onto our property, and my dad kept it in his barn for a while to preserve it. And then in the 90s, it was donated to the Silver River Museum, and they restored it, and it is on the grounds there, so if you ever wanted to see that boat, it's there.
And she lived on the bridge, right, Mrs. G?
She lived in a little house on the bridge, yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's your father's?
And this is the campground that my father, it was a fish campground my father had in the late 50s, 60s. And then when the barge canal came through, he lost his waterfront too, so he lost his business there.